Good evening. I believe we're live. It's a couple minutes early, and I went ahead and started early for just, I'm going to say something and I'll repeat it later, but last night when I went to sleep, I had 98 subscribers. I woke up this morning to 100, and a little bit ago, I got on after I ate an early dinner to do this live. My dog's playing with a toy down here. And I have 101, so I'm on the high side of 100 now. Thank you all for my subscribers. You are very near and dear to my heart. This channel's growing slow, and that's okay. When I first started doing this, I had no other purpose than just to document my life, and didn't really think much more about any of it. But now I'm on a quest to get monetized. I just think that would be the next step. I'm trying to get better with my videos. So, all right. Shh. So anyways, thank you. All right, I see a couple of you on. Please introduce yourself in the chat. I have my iPad down here, so I'll read the chats down here. But I'm looking at the camera there on full screen on my iPhone. So welcome to my live. And I went on a little bit early. I was just ready, a couple minutes early. But I wanted to thank the ones that subscribe to my channel overnight, because I went from 98 subscribers to 100. So I broke 100, and then a little bit ago I went to 101. So if you're here, and I see a couple of you here, introduce yourselves. And this is going to be a Q&A. Most of my videos explain me and who I am, and what the channel's all about. If you have any questions about, I was reading, if you have any questions about clarity on anything, just let me know. So I'm Janine. I live in Western Colorado. I've lived in Colorado since 1989, and I'm married. I live in a very small town up in Western Colorado in an area called the Grand Mesa. So it's the biggest flat top mountain in the continental United States. I've heard it's the biggest one in the world, but it's at least the biggest in the US. We've got over 300 lakes up here. The high peaks go from 10,000 to, actually there is a peak that's 11, but the majority of it's about 10,000 elevation. And then 10,005 in spots and stuff. But very rural area. It's a cow town, and I've lived here. We've lived in this house 9 years. We've lived in the area 22 years. My husband and I have been married 20 years. I was married before. I never had kids, and I met him. Actually, I met him. I really got to know him on 9/11. I worked at the company, and then he started there 2 weeks before 9/11. And when that happened, we were all in our supervisor's office and got to know him that day. We were both going through divorces. So anyways, long story short, we got together. When I married him in 2005, he had 3 teenagers, the oldest one being 19, and then like 16, 17, and 14. So they're all adults now, and they all have kids. So I do claim the grandkids, even though I never had kids. I claim the kids too. But yeah, that's me. So I don't see any questions yet. I'll just keep talking, I guess. So the channel, so I'm very much into camping. I grew up, supposedly, this is kind of funny, because this same year of trailer that I have, my parents had one, and took me camping at 2 months old in a very similar camper, except it was a Cardinal brand. Mine is a Bonanza. So I grew up camping. At 2 months old, I've been in these vintages before they were vintage and before I was vintage. So I retired last December from a 36-year career in real estate. Um, did some other jobs in between there. Right. Don't knock that over. Um, did a few jobs in there that overlapped, but I've always had real estate licenses, starting in California, Colorado, then I left, and then Arizona, and then I went to Idaho and was getting my license there, but moved back to Colorado after another stint in Arizona. And so I've had 2 Colorado licenses. So, and I just got tired of doing it. So I retired in December, so almost a year ago. Okay. Still don't see any questions. I see a few of you on. So I'll just keep talking, I guess. So this is my little vintage. This is, and I always say I've had 6. Stop. It's UPS. Stop. I've had 7 vintage. Right, stop it. Stop. Ryan, stop. Come on, stop. Stop. She's a blood healer. Stop. It's me talking. Okay. Stop. Lay down. And so, lost my train of thought. Ryan, stop. My healer is 6 years old. And, oh, I hear our cat out there. No, shh. She knows we're in here. Lay down. Get up there and lay down. Good girl. Anyways, I have her talking about our dogs. So my husband has a bird dog, Brooke. She's an English Springer Spaniel. She's 13. And in about May of this last year, she started getting a real big lump. Started small, of course, but this lump grew to about softball size on her hip, right towards the base of her tail. And it's a soft tissue sarcoma. It's not good. Nothing we can do about it. They can't even, the base of it's probably as big as my hand, and they can't even cut it out because there's no skin to stitch it back up. They'd have to do like a skin graft. And anyways, so we're giving her things. I'm very much into natural medicine, especially dogs. I actually had a previous channel about dog health and holistic dog health with essential oils and food. I did it with a friend, and basically started that in 2009. It was monetized, but we were doing it together, and we had a falling out. So I did all the food and health end of it, and she was into the more the obedience side of it. And so, anyways, we had a falling out. She moved away, moved out of state. We disbanded. So I have a lot of my stuff on my old laptop that I've thought about starting another channel eventually. But I want to get this one further along the road. So, okay. So I broke into 100 subscribers this morning. When I woke up, I couldn't sleep for some reason. I got up at 4. Actually, it was 4:44. If you believe in angel numbers, because I do. Then the 444 is a big one for me. So I couldn't sleep, and I got up, and Brooke, the English Springer Spaniel, was coming through the kitchen, and so I put her out to go potty. She's older, and she can't hold her bladder, I think especially because of this tumor. And so I waited for her to come in. I stoked up the fire. It was 21 degrees in western Colorado at high altitude. I live at almost 8,000 feet. I used to live higher on the same road, but we moved down 3 miles, so lower in elevation. Anyways, I got on YouTube. Well, I got my phone to see what the temperature was, and then I had notifications on YouTube, so I clicked on them, and I was doing some stuff on my channel, and all of a sudden it dawned on me that it said 100 subscribers. That was cool. So anyways, and then just a little bit ago, I actually had to run my husband to Grand Junction to pick up a rental car. He's on his way to Denver for the weekend, the rest of the weekend, and he won't be back till Tuesday or possibly Wednesday. He's got work business to do over there, but he's going over to stay with his son. Um, and so anyways, when I came back, I got super busy. I was cleaning the house. Our house is for sale, so I'm cleaning the house because we might have a showing this weekend, possibly tomorrow. And so I was doing all that, staying off of YouTube. I got on just a little bit ago to start getting everything, and I wanted to do my live down in Lil Ruby, my trailer here, my vintage trailer. And so it was 101. So thank you all, you my subscribers. I appreciate each and every one of you. I started this channel seriously. First post was November 9th of last year of 2024. And it did pretty good. It got like 30, 40 subscribers right away. I had a couple really good early videos, and then it just sort of flatlined. And our house went on the market in March the first time, and then I was going through a friend of mine who's a realtor, and then took it off into July, and then I listed it myself for sale by owner towards the end of August, and so it's been a few months. So that takes a lot of my time. And I've been packing some stuff that I don't need in the house. Where I live, we get a lot of snow. So I kind of feel like if it doesn't sell in the next few weeks, I'm probably going to yank it off the market till March 1st, which is what we call the spring thaw. And put it back on then and, go from there. But we're not sitting on, we like a house here in Colorado that's been on the market longer than our house was when we first listed in March, and they keep dropping the price on that one, and we've come down on ours too. We really like it, and we don't want to miss it, and it's getting down now where I think a lot of people could afford it more, and the interest rates have come down some, so we don't want to lose that one. So I'm kind of prepared to do one more price drop before the end of the year and see how that goes. Maybe we'll get a Hail Mary and get it sold in January. It's kind of keeping me from doing a lot of traveling this year because the house is for sale, and once I listed it by myself for sale by owner, my husband doesn't want to have anything to do with selling it. He'll show it on the outside if I'm here too. He'll take the people around. We have 48 acres. We have a hayfield in 17 of the acres. We have a hunting blind built over the hayfield. We have 2 creeks. We go into BLM land on both sides, east and west, and then national forest on both sides. The side's right there on the east side, and then on the west side of us, you have to go up a couple miles through the BLM and you get to the national forest. And that's where our old property was, right smack where the national forest was. So anyways, so yeah, I just really would like to grow this channel now. So help me out. Please like my videos. Go back and watch them if you're watching this. And I will answer a few questions that I've gotten through chat on different videos just recently. In fact, one of them I got last night. So the one I got last night was, what's the next thing I'm going to do to my vintage trailer? So so the next thing, really nothing inside except touch up some paint when the weather's warmer. I can't do it now in high altitude Colorado in the winter. So I want to repaint the inside, but I want to redo the skins. I want to save my sides and then do all new front to back. I have a dent that I've repaired with Bondo, actually right above that window. There's still a dent in the back where somebody previous to me owning her must have bumped into a tree branch or something. They just crinkled it a little bit. I don't even hardly see it, but obviously when I'm towing her down the road. If you're following me, you would see it, especially if you're in a high vehicle. So, part of the charm of the vintage trailers to me is the history, that they're not really wear and tear, but they have a history, and every ding and scratch and bump was a memory for somebody. I mean, think of it that way, and that's anything. I'm very into old cars, old furniture, antique, retro, vintage, anything. That's me. And my kitchen is 1940s vintage. I have a vintage gas stove. I have a vintage double drain bore sink. I have a lot of vintage stuff around. I do not have an actual old vintage refrigerator, because back in the 40s, the whole freezer is filled with a big old compressor, and you get like a little place where you maybe could put a little container of ice cream and maybe ice cube trays. So I have new looking or old looking new appliances on my refrigerators. They're red. I love red. So yeah, so that would be the next project, would be the skins, actually front to rear. I'm going to reuse the sides. They have to come off. All the windows have to come out. I want to fix any rotten wood if there is any. So I've owned her going on 6 years, and I did some of that. Pull all the windows, fix stuff around the windows, but I never fixed the inside paneling. And there's a spot up here behind me in the corner that's a little soft, and one in actually both back corners. So I want to pull the J channel off and fix that too. So that's my only project. And then repaint her, and she'll still partially be red. Her name's Lil Ruby, but her outside's going to go to gray and red. I have had in a row 2 red F-150s, the race red. I first had it 2016, and then I had it 2020, and a week ago on Wednesday, I got rid of my truck, this last one. So right now I don't even have a tow vehicle that could take this trailer any distance. I have one. My husband has one, but I don't drive his vehicle that much. But I have a Jeep, but I would never take it like to Moab even. Well, maybe Moab, but I wouldn't go any further. Grand Junction is an hour and a half from Moab, so I'm another hour, so I can be in Moab pretty quick. I'm on the very western side of Colorado, right off I-70. That I-70 runs along the base of the Grand Mesa where I live, coming out of, to the east of Grand Junction. Moab is 90 miles from Grand Junction, so it doesn't take us that long to get there. And so I need a tow vehicle. So when the house sells, I want a brand new Super Duty F-250, maybe a 350. No, I think a 250, with the trimmer package. I want the Lariat trim package, so the heated seats, the leather, the heated steering wheel, heated mirrors. In Colorado where I live, you got to have all that. Otherwise you're scraping all the time. And then I want the trimmer package, which is the lift, the 35-inch tires, skid plates, a different locking differential. I think it goes from limited slip to locking. I'd have to look again. So that's my dream truck. So I actually traded my truck last Wednesday, and I'm driving a little SUV that was part of the trade in order to make it work for him having money to do this. So anyways, so I miss my truck, and I'm not able to even dream about getting away in January right now until I get a truck. So that's very important. I actually am looking at some large SUVs like Ford Explorer, mostly Ford Explorer. I'm a Ford girl, so I'm looking at those if I can find one. Fairly decent miles. I'll just buy a used one. And I wouldn't mind keeping that even when I have a full-size truck. I've had Ford Escapes before. I had an Explorer back in 2004, I think. I've had Expeditions. I haven't owned an Edge, but I don't even think they make those anymore. And I'm talking a used vehicle, but a fairly new used vehicle. So, and right now I have a 2016 Chevy Equinox. It's okay. I'm not a Chevy girl, but it's a little too small. And obviously it's a 4-cylinder, so I can't tow Ruby, even if it had a tow package, which it doesn't. So, okay, so that was a question I got last night. And then, or that question about my next vehicle. So yes, I want a Ford F-250 Super Duty Lariat trim with the trimmer package in one of the grays they have. So when Ruby's skins get redone, the white is going away. I've repainted the red on her, but the white is still what the white she had when I bought her. And she had a black stripe right down the middle and all the way around. So I took the black stripe and all the way to the top, painted it red. So the bottom is still white all the way around. I want to get rid of that and do either the avalanche gray, if I go with the avalanche, or the platinum matte, they call it. Both colors are matte. They're not metallic. They're both flat colors, basically, matte colors. So a gray. A little bit different look with the next truck. I love red, but my truck's not most likely not going to be red. The funny thing is, 2025, I could still get race red if I wanted to, but 2026, I don't think it's going to be an option. And I'm going to be buying a new truck at some point. So this will probably be my last new truck, because it'll get me through probably the next 10 years. So, and more, I hope. But anyway, so another question I did have about the dogs. So yes, I travel. Somebody asked me why I only travel with Rye. So the channel is Little Ruby, Rye, and I. When I got this trailer, she was not even 6 months old. And so she worked with me on it, coming down here and tore her apart. I mean, I gutted the whole inside. None of the mattresses, anything are the original. They were in bad shape. The wood was, it was a desert, came from Utah, but nobody had ever oiled the wood, so I painted it, and I had to put kills on it to even get the paint to stick. It was really dried out wood. So even though it wasn't in bad shape, it wasn't taken care of. It was probably outside a lot. So didn't have a lot of leaks, but you know, there is those corners, not that one, but those two back ones and this one right behind me. It's just soft. You can kind of push it in a little bit. One of those is worse. I want to think it's that corner over there. But anyways, so Rye grew up with me. Rye, stop hitting that. Why are you hitting the tripod? Play with your baby. Get your baby. Rye grew up with me. I named the channel. So I got this channel and named it, shh. Rye, stop it. 2021, when I finally decided I was going to start documenting 2 years after I already had this trailer. I got it at the end of 2019. Rye, stop. Right before COVID hit. So, Rye, stop. We'll go out in a little bit. I'll end this soon. Another 10 minutes. Stop. Stop. Get your baby. So it was Little Ruby, the trailer, Rye, and I. Stop, Rye. Get up here. Come on. Get up here. Now. Get up here. Let me grab her baby. And there you go. You get your baby. It's a snowflake. You snowflake. My husband's dog is his dog. That's his hunting dog. She's getting old now. She's got this lump, so she didn't get to go bird hunting this fall. He might take her out a little bit, just him and her without friends and a lot of guns and stuff. She's starting to lose her hearing. So, anyways, so Brooke doesn't travel with me. Now, if we go camping as a family, she goes. And then 2 years ago at Christmas, so 2 years right now, my friends who took a puppy from the same litter that I took Rye from up here, they're local cow dogs, champion parents, healers. We don't have cows. We had horses, but we don't have those right now. But no cows. She's not a working dog. She's spoiled rotten. Lobo, the boy that my friends took, my friends raised sheep, goats, and yaks. They had 4 yaks. And so he was a working dog, and he was a ranch dog. But 2 years ago, they asked me, we went to their house for Thanksgiving or something, And it was before Christmas because he left the first week of Christmas. And he said, I'm going to take a job in Japan for a year. And Leslie's going to come back and forth and visit me. Will you take Lobo? And I'm like, yeah, I'll take your dog for you. You know, it's a year. I'll do that. That's fine. I'd already babysat him a lot anyways. And, well, they looked at me, or he did, and he goes, well, actually, we want you to keep him. And I'm like, who does that? Who gets rid of their dog? I could never do that. So, and they said, if you don't want him, so-and-so does. And that's a rancher. I know the guy. He's not a bad guy, but he doesn't, his dogs are just dogs, you know. And Lobo was a little bit spoiled, but not like mine. He didn't sleep in house, but he had an indoor-outdoor four-season room with a doggy door. So it used to be like a porch, and they screened it in, and he and the cat would hang out there. So, and it had heat. They had he had a heated pad, and, you know, he wasn't outside in the elements, but he would never have done. He's a very sensitive dog. And so I took him. We did really good. So he would have been, they're 6, he was 4. He did good that whole first year, but then the start of the next year, I had him out playing one time when my grandsons were up here, and they were like 7 and 5 at the time, and he nipped the older one, and he hates kids. Like, and I know, I saw it happen, and without going into particulars, wasn't totally his fault, but you don't do that. He did break the skin, but he got him on his shoe, but he broke the skin because he kind of pinched it right there above his shoe. So now he's got to be separated from the grandkids. I won't get rid of him. He's never done it again, but he's not social like her. He doesn't travel like her, so he's the home dog. He's actually become a really good watchdog for us. And he has gone to Quartzsite with me 2 different times. That first year, I mean, I literally had him 3 weeks, and I took off for Quartzsite. So he went, and he did really good. And then he went the next year. He didn't go this last year because I didn't go. So I guess I got him, I got him the end of 22. So it's 3 years, almost. No. Yeah, 3 years because it's 2025. And then, so he went 2023 and he went 2024. I didn't get to go this last year. There was a bunch of stuff going on. And, hey, if you're on the chat, I see a few, introduce yourself. Right, who you are, and if you have any questions for me. I'm only going to run this another 5 minutes, but I've had a few on and off here. I was hoping to have more, but that's okay. I mostly did this, if you're hearing me or seeing this, because I broke 100 subscribers this morning, so I was just tickled, and so I thought I'm going to do a live, so this will become a video, so that's fine too. This is Vlogmas. I'm doing Vlogmas. This is December 13th, so the 13th video. And this will go live tonight. I'm already working on 2 or 3 other videos for the next couple days. But I'm going to stick lives in there. I'll probably do another live on Monday, probably in the evening. Yeah. So anyways, so Lobo is the home dog. If I went to Quartzsite, I would take him again, possibly, if I only went there. Because I can be with my group. I'm in a couple camping groups and friends. And plus there's people I know through YouTube that some of you I've met, some of you I haven't yet. But I feel like you're friends. You know, I want to be able to go by and say hi. I do not camp in the LTVAs. I do the BLM. I do Dome Rock, Plumosa Road, and Roadrunner. I love Roadrunner. Roadrunner's my favorite because you're down south and gets you down to Yuma, and Copa and all that, if you're familiar with Quartzsite, Arizona. I lived in Arizona, so I started going to Quartzsite in 1996. So, I was in my 30s when I was full-timing. My ex and I met when I was 31. He'd been married before. No, we got married when we met. I was 29. We got married when I was 31, and didn't ever have any kids. but we were up in Idaho at the time. He was a heavy equipment operator. He took a job after the Olympics ended, I think it was, in Salt Lake City, because we were living in Idaho, but he worked in Salt Lake City and came home on weekends. My parents lived up there, so I was fine. And my cousins, I have a lot of relatives in Idaho. My dad's from there. So anyways, but we went to Arizona to work on the highway, the freeways, where they were expanding all the interstates down there after the Olympics in Salt Lake. And so we lived in my motorhome. I had bought a brand new Class C motorhome in 1994, sold a house, and moved into it full time. And then that's the same time frame I met him. And he was renting a house, so we ended up living in that for 2 or 3 years. Then we moved. That was in Colorado. Then we moved to Idaho. We're only there a year, and then moved to Arizona, and ended up, after about a year, selling the Class C, and Montana motorhomes were big then. Everybody wanted one, and we had a limit, and I wasn't real impressed. I'll never own another one. I've always had Jaycos for fifth wheels and travel trailers, or vintages. But anyways, so we lived in that then another 4 years, and then we divorced. He's actually wanted to stay in Arizona, and I wanted to come back to Colorado, and it wasn't working, doing half the year here and half the year there. I had a really good job offer through real estate, but also through a construction company, and I couldn't leave and come back just because I felt like it, because it was winter or summer, somewhere. So I stayed in Colorado, and he went back to Arizona, and we divorced. And then I was going through that divorce when I met my husband, John. Anyways, well, I got one more minute, and then it'll be 5:30, so I'll end this. There was another question, and they're on my phone in my notes. Let me think. There was the dogs, my vehicle choice that I'm going to get. Well, I'll just say this. So my goal for Christmas, not for Christmas, but get through the holidays, get a vehicle that I can tow Ruby with. It won't be my dream truck. It'll probably be an SUV of some type in good shape. It can't be the one I have now. So I literally did this trade. I'm waiting for the title. And once I get the title, I'm already looking. I'm on Car Gurus all the time looking at vehicles. Hopefully around here, I don't have to drive too far. I could go to Salt Lake or Denver, about 4 hours away, and find something. But I'd like to find something around Grand Junction, which is an hour away. So if I can find something that's already got the tow package, fairly low miles, mechanically sound, I don't even really care what it looks like or what it is. As long as it's got the tow package, I can pull this trailer. She's very light. She's a 14-foot trailer, but the box is 10 feet long and 6 feet wide, very narrow. And so she doesn't weigh that much, 1,225 pounds. And then I've probably got another, I took her to the scales. What did I weigh her going to Zion last year? I think I'm at 1,600 and 16 pounds. The way she's configured now, I haven't really changed anything. And that was with water in her. She was winterized, but I ended up unwinterizing her on that trip. It was early April. Here, we were going into a really dry spell, and it was warming up. So I ended up, while I was out there, filling up the tanks and unwinterizing her. I have a 10-gallon tank under this seat. So she's got fresh water. I have a bucket potty, basically. And then no black tanks. She's got propane gas, so I have the pink stove and an ice box. This ice box in here I use for food, and I carry a vintage one outside that I also use for food. And then I have Yeti coolers, a small one for drinks and a bigger one for food. And I kayak, I e-bike, hike, and of course anything dog related. So anyways, okay, well, I've gone a couple minutes over. I think I answered all the questions because I had the 4. So yeah, I am trying to get to Arizona in January. I guess worst case, for the first time ever, I've been down there in February, but leaving, but maybe just go down in February. I I used to get a big kick out of the big tent. I go now just to socialize and stay down there for a few weeks just to get out of our winter here. And right now, we're not having much of a winter. We're having cold temperatures, but we've got very little snow. In fact, most of our snow, we had a big snow the other day, and most of it's gone because we've had 2 days of straight sun, totally clear today. And because the sun, the wind chill said it was 38, but the sun being out said it was 52, but we had a breeze. Well, our snow's almost all gone. Even on the shady side of things, it's almost all gone. So normally, once we start getting snow, we stay white through April. So, okay, if you're on here now, I see more. I'm just getting ready to wrap this up, but I had a Q&A and just about 4 questions that I've been asked recently. And the main thing I'm doing this live for is because this morning I broke 100 subscribers. After a year of doing this channel very nonchalantly, I wasn't real serious about it, but I am now. And I'm doing Vlogmas, so I'm posting every day. So this will be the Vlogmas Day 13 posting video, whatever, live. I have a playlist on that. I have playlists for the wildlife around here. I don't do a lot of videos about it, but I do post shorts about the wildlife. And then I'm a hunter, so I'm kind of into the deer and the elk and the bear and all that. So anyways, okay, I'm going to sign off. I'm going to go up to the house. I'm actually going to sleep in Ruby tonight. My husband's gone. I've got my little fireplace going. It's very cozy in here. In fact, it's getting warm. I have my insulated vest on. And I'm going to go up and let the other dogs, I have Brooke, she's in the house, have her go potty. I'll probably stay up there till about 8:30, 9 o'clock. And then Ryan and I will come back down here and sleep in her. Lobos will be in the house too. Him and Brooke will be fine once I let him out that late. And then I'll get up early and go up to the house, make coffee probably at 4 o'clock because I don't sleep much. So I'm drinking some hot mint, chocolate mint tea with honey in it. My voice has been kind of, I have a recipe for it anyways, but been kind of dry. It's not so, but I've been drinking too. It's dark now. It's actually 5:34, and it's pitch black out there. You can see. It was pretty dark when I walked down here at 4:45 to start this. Anyways, okay. Well, have a good one. Thank you for joining me. Thank you for helping me make 100 subscribers. I'm going for 500 now. I'm not even stopping at 2, 3, or 4. Now my goal is 500. And of course, I obviously want the 1,000. I've got to get a lot more watch hours. Please like, subscribe, and share my videos. I need a lot more subscribers, but I appreciate every one of you that I have. If you're listening, Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, and bye for now.